Hey everybody, it's Christmas time, hence the jumper. Very quickly, let's get into this. I've bought a Galaxy Watch recently, the 46mm version, and I'm a sport fitness kind of enthusiast, online coach, and a teacher at the gym. So I've bought this for sport purposes, but I'll go into reasons as to whether I think it's good, bad, or not worth it, or worth it in this video coming up. Let's do this. Hi there, if it's your first time to the channel, welcome. My name's Adam Arif from Beyond Educated. If you're looking to improve your overall health, become more productive, and improve your well-being, why not subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media to avoid missing out on any of the videos that I post weekly. So through the power of video, I've got a number of different items that I'm going to go over today. So firstly, I'm going to break this video up into 3 different sections. I'm going to talk about what comes in the product at the beginning, so what you get with it and what I have found useful and practical in terms of what comes in the box. And then I'm going to go into what I think's not so good about this product. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think this product is good, and then give you an overall conclusion. So this is like, I suppose, non-original Samsung, so that's another strap that I'll go into. So out of the box, you get these 2 straps with it. You'll see that I'm wearing a metal one that I bought online. Relatively cheap and really easy to replace. It comes in a kit from this company. Don't really know what it is. I'll put a link in the description. Vigos or VI6 something or other, but it gives you a black one, a chrome band as well, and I just think as a general watch it looks a lot nicer. It looks a lot more like a watch, and then I interchange them for the gym. Box pretty nice, and this is actually a really nice little function, so really seamless charging. The micro USB, why they don't do USB-C anymore is beyond me, because you can never work out which freaking way it goes. It just plugs in, nice and subtle. You take your watch off and you drop it in here. Look guys, I'm not gonna lie, I am not a review channel, but for the sake of a sporting item, I thought this would be a worthwhile watch, so this is what you're gonna get with the channel. So here we go, the good, bad and the ugly. So overall in the box, it's pretty nice, looks the part, and you'll see that it's got a nice feel-good factor to it. It's not that weighty, but it looks, you know, it looks pretty decent on. Right, so now, forgive me here because I can't help but feel that I have to dwell to some extent on the negative elements of the watch, and the reason is I do feel it has a lot more negative than positives. Now, I bought an Apple Series Watch 1 a few years ago and really wasn't impressed with the whole dynamic of smartwatches, so I decided to sell it, and then I bought a Samsung at a later stage, and then when this watch came along I thought it would be great. The reason is I teach at the gym, so like exercise, counting calories, the functionality of the watch and stuff would be really good because it's got all these cool little features on. But the reality is that I've not actually used them that much, and this is why. So the first point is that I have a nice watch, like this is a Longines Sont Emier watch. Yeah, it is a £2,000 watch, so I like nice watches. This is a £300 watch, so there's obviously a big difference. It comes with 2 rubber straps, really easy to clip on, clip off, which is a really good bonus towards the thing. However, like, I don't want to wear a metal strap for the gym. So whenever I'm going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, I'm clipping in, I'm clipping out. It becomes a bit of a pain in the ass, if I'm being honest. Then I don't want to wear a rubber strap throughout the day. I want it to feel a little bit nicer. So I end up finding that that becomes a bit of a pain in the ass. Some of the other things include, like, I wanted it to check out the functionality of my sleep, like how I was sleeping, but I found that with it moving around in the night, particularly it might have been this other strap that I've got, like, it doesn't tend to track your sleep that well. I just don't think it's very accurate. I don't know what that is, and if the Apple Watch is better or whatever, but the sleep function just hasn't necessarily I think captured a fair reflection of at least what I feel it is. Like sometimes it can't even read your sleep pattern, and sometimes it says like you had 1 minute of deep sleep. Maybe that is the case, I don't know, but it just doesn't feel like it to me. Overall, in terms of the general functionality, you find that it's got a sport kind of tracking feature that takes you through all the different exercises you can do, and I thought, great, like I work out at the gym, it's supposed to like track your movements when you're doing burpees, when you're doing push-ups, count your timings and things like that so that you can get straight back onto it. So you can say 20 burpees, rest, and then it'll trigger again, 30-second rest, and you go again. But the reality is you don't want your workouts to be that controlled and that contrived, and if you do, then to be honest, you can just look at a stopwatch on the wall. So that all that functionality, that one of the main reasons that I actually bought the watch, I've not actually used it for, which was really disappointing, because it's too rigid, it's too kind of controlled. One of the really disappointing things I found with the watch is in terms of the finish. Let's see if you can get a focus on that. You can't necessarily see it on here, but around the bezel it started to scratch. Now for a £300 watch, you would kind of like think, why would you on here like have a nice matte material that is going to that's going to scratch? Like why would you do it? It just doesn't make sense, and now it makes the watch look a little bit cheaper. You know, this watch, I take this everywhere. I have done for years, battered, bruised. It's barely got a scratch on it. It's a £2,000 watch, so I get the difference. A few little like software quirks, like closing apps down is a pain in the ass. So when you don't close Spotify down and then you have a phone call, and then you end that phone call, it starts playing Spotify through your watch. So you might be listening to some like really embarrassing gangster rap because you're fucking nailing the gym and you're in the zone, and then all of a sudden that music just starts to play. But like, there's loads of little things that I just think make it really inconvenient. The general concept of smartwatches, I'm not necessarily convinced on. Like, you're constantly getting reminders, you're constantly getting bombarded with like information, like WhatsApp, whatever's going on, and you can't switch off. So like in meetings, I found that I'm having to put it on do not disturb and things like that all the time. And the other thing is, when you're sleeping at night, sometimes you'll just nudge it, even though you've got it on like do not disturb because you want it to track your sleep. You'll just like touch it or something will happen, it'll bright up the fucking room, and I'm like, it's just so annoying. So now it seems like there's loads and loads of negatives here, but there are positives with the watch. These are just the really annoying, quirky things that I've found with it. So let's have a look at some of the positive things that I think are really good about the watch. Because look, you want an overall kind of view. I've been using this watch now for weeks, so I get a good feel for it. So the battery life is really good, 3-4 days, and I'm quite a big user, so I tend to run it down to pretty much flat, stick it on overnight, charges really quick, and it's a really subtle contactless charging, so that's real nice. It's just not a pain at all to like just whip it off, put it on the charging port, bang, off you go. Really nice, and nice sort of duration with the battery life. I teach at the gym, so like I connect to the hi-fi system, and controlling whether you're doing it at the gym or whether you're doing it elsewhere, your music through this is really nice. Pausing, next track, skipping backwards and forwards, adjusting the volume. So you could do that through any kind of Bluetooth device you've got, because it's got an internal memory, so you could connect directly to your watch and stream to any Bluetooth device. That's real nice, meaning that you don't have to have your phone on you all the time, constantly digging it out, unlocking it, changing tracks. This can do it for you. That was a real nice function. Even though I discussed that it is scratched, you know, one of the things that I said is it does look good. I think out of all the smartwatches in and around the market at the minute, this has got to be up there with the top ones. I think it stands out. It looks like a normal watch. It looks seamless. And there's loads and loads of customizable watch interfaces that you can have. I've had mine on a digital one for a while, but you just tap and press, and you can just move it to like, you know, a real nice kind of different type of watch interface. It's really subtle and nice, so I really like that. I really like the look of it, the style, especially with some of the different customizable bands that you can get. Like, little functionality on the phone is really good. Like, if you lose your phone, you can just tap that and it'll just ring it on loud anywhere. Like, how many times do you misplace your phone? That's a really cool feature. You know, sometimes I do use the function which you can talk over the watch. Now, this isn't the 4G connected version. Part of the reason was I had some issue trying to get credit or something when I was trying to take out the account, even though my credit was really good. And so I didn't actually get this. I just bought the Wi-Fi one, which I haven't found is an issue, because whenever you're anywhere, you do have your phone to you. One of the things that I did find, I had to do some tweaking to my phone because it started draining my battery, and I had to completely kind of clear my phone of all kind of back-end apps running in the background, any malware, anything like that that was on my phone taking up space, because once it started to connect to this and it was constantly streaming backwards and forwards, it did drain the battery. So there is a difference in terms of battery usage of your phone, which I've found, but I have managed to get around most of that. And I think also the customizable elements, the way the user interface works, the bezel to switch through different modes, check the weather, really subtle, really nice, spins really nice and smooth, no issues there, and sort of the way it tracks your walking and your movements when you're out and about is really good as well, giving you a reasonable, accurate measure of how many calories you're burning. So I think that's really nice. So pros and cons, some of the functionality is really good, looks good, but can be damaged. And is it worth £300? Overall, I would say I have a G-Shock that I've had for years and years. Now, this device here, that has been my go-to device for the gym for a number of years. And to be honest with you, if I didn't have the screen and the connectivity to my phone, but I had a bit more functionality built into something like that, like the ability to control music, count my steps, it could probably last for about 4 weeks with a black and white interface, and I would still get the functionality that I get out of this. So I guess what I'm saying is, you always need a nice watch if you're a nice watch person, because you're always going to want one. The functionality and what they've tried to fit in this makes it unnecessary for me in terms of the overall concept of what's needed for a smartwatch. I only need a few things on this, and I actually prefer to have 2 separate watches. It seems simpler for me. So if I had like a G-Shock that had some of the functionality of this, and a nice watch for when I'm going out, then I think that would do the job much better than this. I think it's a nice additional luxury to have, but I certainly don't think at this stage it is a watch replacement. I'm Adam Arif, checking out. Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a great time over Christmas and New Year, and I will see you back again in 2019.